Experience tranquility.
And welcome everyone. Week 4 of the Iris podcast is here. I am Ski Free Yeti of the Fighting Potatoes. With me, as usual, is fellow father Thuggington of Alt F4, and joining us for the first time is Gillamed from Meteors. Do you want to take a moment to introduce yourself?
Howdy. I've been in the community since Season 1. I've been playing all sorts of tank roles, and then in the off-season I decided to volunteer my help to Cav for moderator role, and here we are.
Spicy face reveals.
Spicy face reveals today on the Iris. Speaking of spicy face reveals, we have an exciting podcast for you all today. Actually, I didn't put a /all or an @ everyone out in chat. Could one of you guys grab that real quick?
Yeah, I got you.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Get an @ everyone out. Big thing tonight, guys. We've got a special announcement coming from the commissioner. He's going to be announcing a really exciting thing that's going to be coming your way soon, so please stay tuned for that. You're going to love it. We also have match recaps, match predictions, and extended exposé with Commissioner Cavalier, so we are looking forward to that. But first and foremost, we want to talk about Week 4, and a hell of a Week 4 it was, and we're going to kick right off with by far one of the best matches we've seen all season. Havoc, Gravity, feature match last night. Excellent Overwatch from both. And I got to say, it was a really strong win from Havoc. They pulled off the win 2-0, and it was incredible to watch because we saw two of the best teams running that GOATS comp, running that 3-2-1 comp, and it was truly just a very... It was almost a master class at this level of what teams at this SR level are capable of. Obviously, Orsted and Velzen stood out on the side of on the side of Gravity. Pardon me. They both played incredible the entire way through. But I have to give a ton of credit to Havoc. The person who stood out to me the most on Havoc was Dunzo, and I don't think Dunzo has gotten enough credit for what he is. And I think to me, he established himself as the strongest main tank in the league last night. And I looked at that level of aggression he brought in that 2-0 win. Yeah, 2 ties, 2-0 win. The level of aggression he brought in was absolutely incredible. Right. I give a ton of credit to that whole team. One of the most interesting things, I think, was how they were able to... one of the things we always talk about with Orsted and Velzen is their really strong range game. Like, Orsted, winner of the Season 1 Widow 1v1.
Yeah, right.
Velzen, second place. These guys are insane. Everybody knows that. But what they did on Gibraltar sticks out to me. Gibraltar's a premier sniper map. And what we ended up seeing from Havoc in that really crafty GOATS play, guarding that first pack on that first point, it was a great move. They neutralized their snipers. They basically turned it into a brawl, which when you turn into a GOATS brawl, Havoc is going to beat you. Yep. They just are. They're the best GOATS team in the community. Bar none.
Facts.
Straight facts, guys. And I was blown away by that whole match. I got to give a ton of credit out to both teams. You guys put on a great show. You represented the community really well. So I loved watching it. Kingdom and Geos, both of y'all, you guys rocked at casting it. It was just a good night for the community as a whole. So congrats, Havoc. Great win. I want to move on to Gillamed here. He had his own match, actually, the Wrecking Crew and Meteors.
Oh, that was a rough one. Wrecking Crew really lived up to their name, and they wrecked us. But especially on the side of Wrecking Crew, a massive standout is Teddy Ness, or Ian as he goes by in the Discord. I think he's a phenomenal Widowmaker DPS, and he just rolled all over us. It was pretty scary. And
go on.
There were some big plays on our side, especially from Arise, the least underrated support in the league. But it just wasn't enough for that DPS. Like, everyone's super solid on Wrecking Crew, but Teddy Ness is like, he's really up there.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
I agree. When I look at Teddiness, he reminds me a lot of like what Fate was to the Fighting Potatoes last season. He kind of has that same aura where he can just completely turn a game in an instant. So
Right.
I see that same quality with him. I don't think, and I will say, I predicted this match last week. I know a lot. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Don't
I
dislocate
said
your shoulder, bro.
I said that
yourself on the
Teddiness was
back.
going to show up, and I said Teddiness was going to carry this team to a 3-1, and I called it, and I was right. So
God.
just
Okay,
patting myself on the
okay.
back a little
Yeah,
bit
there
there.
it is.
Yeah,
Jesus.
get over
the
it.
give insurance.
Get over it. Thug, I want you to go ahead and I want you to cover the Alt F4 match versus the Meta Rejects.
Do I have to?
Yes,
Is
you
this something
do.
Okay. Well, how do I put this lightly? Kingdom put us directly over his knee. And he spanked thusly. It wasn't gentle. No, it was. We got throttled, man. You know, there's every like you'll have one or two matches every season where you just, and those more veterans will understand that you don't have an answer for anything. Everyone has an off night. It's just not working. It's not fun Overwatch. And that's for us. And so you can imagine you've been on the other side of those where everything is just clicking and going and callouts are great. Everyone's laughing, having fun. That was the yin and the yang. That's how that match went. Peter is SG64 GLTE. My God, is he good? He is good. But I do want to point out real quick though, Meta Rejects my ass. They play goats, motherfuckers.
They're not fooling anybody anymore.
Not fooling anybody anymore.
No, this is all a lie. This has been a lie from the beginning, Kingdom. You are a fraud. You sit on a throne of lies.
The meta followers. Yes. I'm fucking with you, Specs.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and cover a match that I really don't want to cover either for what it's worth, but I'm going to cover the other feature match this week, Fighting Potatoes versus Harmony and Chaos, and I got to give a massive amount of credit to Harmony and Chaos. They absolutely put us over their knees and spanked us the whole way there. So we did not play well, I think, the whole way through. I think that's obvious for anybody watching the VOD. We just couldn't we didn't have an answer for Garbaggio or Maxix. Both of them are getting really good.
Maxix is nuts, dude.
Maxix's Sombra is scary, but he also brought his Tracer this week.
Sure.
Not to mention the Ashe. Garbaggio's an insane soldier. Like they brought out all these really good DPS, and we just didn't have any answers all day. And I have to give a ton of credit to Harmony and Chaos as I delayed bring the highlights up because I'm a scuffy host. I think when I look at that team, though, the person I want to give the most credit to or the people I want to give the most credit to is that support line on their team. Shadowfear and Cavalier, not to suck up to Cav, that's not what I'm getting at, but they're both playing out of their minds. And there was a lot of times where we would try to dive those DPS, and we didn't have anything for them. Their supports just kept us off of them. You know, Cavalier is playing Lucio at a really high level. And, you know, as much as he is our commissioner, he's a very good support. And Shadowfear is an incredible support, too. I think he's kind of like the one that everybody forgets about because Cavalier's, you know, the commissioner. So right. I have to give a great deal of commendation to Shadowfear and really that whole Harmony and Chaos team. They really put a whooping to us. So, yep. Gillimed, you were going to talk about Illusion and Liquid Nova.
Yeah, it was 3-1, but, like, even though it was 3-1, it was a really close 3-1.
Sure.
Like, both teams were really evenly matched. One of the massive superstars, though, was Asura on the side of Illusion on Genji. Like, when we played against them, I think that was one of the clips of the week where we just got absolutely rolled with a 6K, and it happened again. They were popping off the whole game, and it was pretty scary to say the least.
Scary is a good word, man. Scary is a good word for it. I think so.
Yeah, but especially seeing how Liquid Nova performed against Illusion, a team that, like, I've having played them, seeing Liquid Nova take the 3-1 over them really like says a lot about how good Liquid Nova are to me. So
I think they're definitely improving. You know, that's the thing that stands out to me is we're seeing clear improvement, and that's exciting to see. Thug, you had another match to cover, an excellent match, by the way. Sugar Rush and Omnic Turtles.
So Sugar Rush and Omnic Turtles, they're record your VODs, people. Just someone stream it for the love of God. Make our lives easier. No, I did get some information on the Omnic Turtles are 1-3. That's wrong on a lot of levels. They shouldn't be 1-3. They are 2 map wins. I'm not saying full map, like Koth map wins away from being 3-1. Like, no lie. They gotta finish.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how you gotta do it, but Turtles, finish somebody. For the love of God. Just finish somebody. You guys have all the talent in the world. Finish somebody. And Gab not Gabe. Scary, dude. Scary dude.
Absolutely.
I think once they kind of play together a little more, kind of feel the league out, get some more tape on other people's, it's gonna go probably. Watch out, 1-3 is not their record. Yeah, you see by the highlights here, there was not a single map, and I talked to Kara a little bit about it, and it was a complete back and forth map. There wasn't a, oh yeah, we got this. Everyone was watching. Look, I mean,
Cognitive Pit. Like, what the hell, guys?
It's not fair.
I think you mean the Cognitive Pit.
I'm sorry. The Cognitive Pit. Thank you. I apologize, everyone.
But no, it was a super fun match to. I'm assuming to watch. No one could watch it. But it was a super fun match to watch, and yeah, watch out for them. And Sugar Rush is proving once again they're a solid team,
mm-hmm.
and they're going to keep performing as long as they keep all their keep up in their meta and they keep adapting to people. Pulling these 3-2s out.
That record for Omnic Turtles is so deceiving. It's just it's just incredibly deceiving, and I see that team. They're just loaded. They're loaded with talent, and they're gonna break through, and everybody needs to watch out. And I'm not kidding. I see them right at that edge of being in that conversation for one of the better teams in the league. So no question about it. Last but not least here, guys, we do have to cover Otaku and Solo Cup. That was the remaining match this week. And when I look at this match, there was kind of a blood feud brewing. They're both intense competitors. Both teams are full of intense competitors. And I have to give a lot of credit to Yojak and Otaku. They brought it. They brought it hard. And they exposed some weaknesses on the Solo Cup team. And Zuby's making some changes. I know he's coaching them really hard right now. But Yojak has Otaku going on all cylinders right now.
Right.
Otaku's a scary team. They just really are. They are the best dive team in the entire community, bar none. Yojak is the best Winston in the community, I believe.
Yeah.
Him and Dunzo are right on that same level.
Right.
But for me, I see what Yojak's doing, and I am blown away by what he has done with this team from the first time we played them to the most recent match against Solo Cup. That team is growing leaps and bounds weekly. And at the top, Havoc and Gravity, you guys need to watch out. Otaku is right there, and they could very easily unseat you guys at a moment's notice. So that's it. Oh, sorry, go on.
For me, in a league full of ride mains, to have somebody playing Winston at that level and Reinhardt at that level,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sitting with 2 tank mains here. It's a different mindset,
mm-hmm.
and you have to play differently, and he's figured it out, and he's it's a big yikes for me, dog.
So that's our week 4 recap, guys. Obviously, we're looking at the standings are starting to take shape, and we're going to be starting to feature the standings a little bit more as the season goes on. Right now, they're just a kind of a jumbled mess of 2-2 and 1-3, 3-1, and 1-3 teams in general, except for one. But we are excited that this week we are going to go ahead and debut our community power rankings. So what we've done is we put out the message saying we're looking for some more people for the podcast, and we actually found a group of people who are now our official power rankers / analysts. You'll be seeing more of them as the season goes on, but I do want to give them a shout out for being a part of the podcast community here and a part of the community as a whole. They're making the effort to get out there and do this. We got myself, we got Thug, we got Light Rose from Solo Cup, Cryptic from Alt F4, we got Gillimed here, we have PC Scrub from Wrecking Crew, we have Abe from the Meta Rejects, Specs from Sugar Rush, NPC and Rush from Gravity, and we also have O Stories from Alt F4 as well. So all these guys are going to be helping us out doing the power rankings throughout the season, and I do want to acknowledge them for what they're doing for us. As the season goes on, you'll be seeing a lot more of them. They'll be doing some of our analysis pieces later on this season, so you'll be seeing a lot more of them. But with no further delay, the power rankings. Which everybody's been asking for, and it kind of tends to fall in line here. But at number 10, Harmony and Chaos. Number 9 is Solo Cup. Number 8 is Wrecking Crew. Number 7, Omnic Turtles. Number 6, Alt F4. And then again, we're looking at those Omnic Turtles. They're the only 1 and 3 team to crack the top 10. We're not displaying below the top 10. No reason to right now. If you want to be in the top 10, you got to earn it. Meta Rejects, number 5. Sugar Rush, number 4. Otaku at number 3. Gravity and Havoc after that crazy match last night. It kind of shook out. The winner took the top spot, and it goes to Havoc. They're 4-0, guys. I look at this top 10 here, and I'm going to go first to Gillimed. Do you see any surprises or anything that you're seeing, maybe who isn't there or who's lower than you would have expected?
Honestly, this falls in line pretty heavily with like what I expected to see. I think definitely Otaku is like a spot or two higher than I'd expect to see further in the season, but aside from that, it shakes out pretty well. I mean, like Havoc and Gravity are clearly the strongest at the moment, and after the feature match, it's pretty clear who comes out on top from them.
Right.
Now, what about you, Thug? Are you seeing anything that sticks out to you?
I wouldn't say sticks out.
Okay.
And I'm sure Gilliman doesn't want to say it. The Meteors, bro. Don't sleep on them, man. And that it was the hardest. The hardest part for me was top 4, 5 were pretty easy for me. The rest was an absolute cluster. I was like, sure, this one, because they're there. And then I get to the bottom, like, oh shit, I forgot them. Oh crap, I forgot Solo Cup.
Right.
Okay, but I can't put them in because if I take Solo Cup out, I can't put in Omnic Turtles that are 1 and 3. Yeah, it's just really fun. It's really fun to see. We've talked about it in the last few casts too. The amount of parity in the league is pretty awesome. There are some super far and away the greatest teams, and oh my god, I mean minus Havoc, by the way. But no, I think we're missing Meteors in that top 10. That's my call.
I do want to say that the one thing that did surprise me is seeing, and honestly pleased me, I was very happy to see this, is Meta Rejects at number 5. Obviously, they're the last ranked 3-1 team, but I'm happy to see that they're getting some respect for what they've accomplished in such a short time, from a team that was basically in shambles to the team that they are now. Right. To be regarded right in that same conversation as Sugar Rush, Otaku, and Gravity and Havoc, like that top 5, they're setting themselves apart right now. And it was when we took the rankings and I compiled the averages, 1 through 5 was pretty clear. 6 through 10, even 6 through 12 was incredibly close.
Yep. And
I look at the two teams who were 11 and 12, Meteors and Aimbots. You guys are right on that cusp, and there's just it's like it's not like there's a massive difference right now. Bottom 3 teams, obviously they don't go without saying, Fighting Potatoes, Liquid Nova, Illusion. We're right there too. Like, it's just things can change week to week in this community, and there's no reason why we won't see a massive shift come next week. So that being said, we'll be posting these weekly, so something to look forward to for everyone. But that is our week 4 power rankings. now I want to spend a little time getting to know one of our teams in the community before we have a nice while we're having a nice extended conversation. So we are going to go ahead and bring in our wonderful commissioner and captain of Harmony and Chaos, Cavalier. I'm going to quickly take a look at that roster here. We have obviously that DPS duo of Garbaggio and Maxix is really strong. Dan Club is also doing a really good job filling into that role as well. Tanks, we have Handy Fap as an excellent main tank. Steve Buscemi really stepping up that game as well. Yep. Flex, Race FPV, which is a new pickup to the community, but has done really well in a short period of time. And then obviously supports we talked about earlier, Cavalier and Shadow Fear. And with no further ado, here he is, everyone. The face reveal for Cavalier. He is here, palms to the sky. All right, welcome to the Iris Cav. Oh, there we go. I thought you were muted for a second. Anyways, so, you got a cup too. Jeez,
she just
got
decked
a
out.
Cup and everything here. I'm gonna turn you up really quick here. Bear with me for a moment. You're very quiet. But anyways, Cav, welcome. We're going to spend a little time talking about your team before we get into anything else. So if you could, obviously there's a lot of history with Harmony and Chaos, so can you tell us a little bit about how that team came into existence?
Well, let me tell you a story, young Yeti. Actually, Harmony and Chaos is my Warcraft guild. When we were creating the league, I actually turned to a lot of those guys that I played Warcraft with to come start it, and they have since all vacated their posts. And now it's a totally new crew, but we've managed to keep the name. So that was kind of like the first set of branding I did. I'd rebranded that team, well, guild rather, but just kind of carried it over. So that's why it's kind of a little too serious for the league, maybe.
A little too tough.
Yeah, tough guy. Helmet and the wings coming out of the helmet. And you got stickers on your wall.
Wait. Goat.
Yeah, but that's kind of where it came from. And now, we got a lot of fresh people on the team, and they're doing really well, especially this season. I think that we've kind of turned the corner as a team. We're working a lot better together now. And, yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Where are you at? Where are you at, community? Want me, bro? Want me, bro?
So as you can see, that's our commissioner, everyone. So, Cav, obviously people talk a lot about you on Harmony and Chaos. I don't think anybody's, whenever anybody talks about that, it's Cav's team. That's how everybody knows it. But who on your team isn't getting enough talk amongst the community as a whole? Who do you see on your team as somebody who deserves to be on that same level as some of the people we talk about out here?
Good question.
If I were to put who's that guy on our team that is really standing out, I'd say that's probably Max. Just because he's our top shelf DPS. He's the guy we turn to. Now, that being said, I think there are other people on the team that are really able to flex into spots when we need them, and that is huge. There's a lot of hero diversity. Not for me.
Lucio.
Yeah, I'm like, Lucio's in, and they're like, just stay on that.
Don't change.
Right? And I'm just like, okay, I'll be that guy. So, no, but even with the new pickups that we got Shadow Fear and we got Race, and both those guys are the same way. Like, they're really diverse, and they can really add a lot to the team. I'm thankful to have them, because it's unfortunately when you get into this team situation, this community situation, the amount of flakes are off the charts.
Yeah.
Literally. I was showing the administrators today my season 1 roster list, and about a 50% turnover. Now this season, thankfully, it's a lot better, and it really shows, and you can see it in the teams, and everybody's really kind of having a lot of fun with it.
Absolutely.
From what I see.
Oops, sorry. So, Thug, do you have any questions specifically about the
Yeah.
team before we go into stuff about the community as a whole?
No.
Oh,
I have
okay.
more community. I have more community.
I have
questions.
tons of community
I have
questions.
Tons of community
Gillimed,
questions.
anything about Harmony and Chaos you want to talk about, or?
I'm interested to hear about the community
I
question.
think we
Give the
all
people
are.
what
Give
they
the
want.
people what they freaking want.
All I do you, just a community ship. Like,
All right. We'll save the special announcement. Again, plug for special announcement, guys. We'll save that for at the end here, but I want to talk about the league and the community as a whole. So obviously, it's been a huge project for you, and we're all grateful for what you've done, of course. But let's talk about what was your initial intent behind the community when you created it?
well, let me tell you another story. I was actually in Montreal on my bachelor party, and I was talking. I had a bunch of gamer friends, a bunch of people from Harmony and Chaos. Rip High Steven. And we were talking. I was like, like Overwatch is a great game. It's fun to play, but the competitive aspect of it is just bonkers. It's crazy, right? And everybody has the same complaint for the most part.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what if we just made our own kind of like softball league? It was the idea, and people tend to get behind that, and they're like, okay, we can have a softball league, and it's kind of fun. And we just show up, and then of course you do that, and then people take it more seriously. Rightly so. I didn't know what it was going to look like when I started it, so I just like make this thing, and then all of a sudden, my friends are getting raffle stomped, on some of their teams. There's definitely disparity between a few teams last, that happened, and it's an experiment, and we learn and we move. But that was the intent. Now, in season 2, the community in season, it's more we brand ourselves more as kind of like we're a developmental league. Like we want to bring people up, right? And it was funny, the same thing. We were looking at the scores from people when they came to the league in season 1 and what they are now, and it was kind of hilarious because you saw people that were like, oh, you're 2,000 a year ago today, and now you're 32 or 3,500. Like It's like, okay, like I guess maybe it's working a bit. I don't know. Maybe. But obviously some more than others. But it's definitely shown that it is working to a certain extent. I definitely think there's more that we can improve upon. But we'll have to wait and see till this season concludes, and then we'll see where.
Thug, what do you got?
Kind of where the state of the league is now, and did you expect it to do as well as it's doing?
No.
Honesty.
I mean, I try and work pretty hard to keep things as organized as possible, and that was kind of my goal. And my goal when we did start it was to kind of give people something to get a vested interest behind. That's why I wanted to do all the logos for everybody. That's why I wanted to give them a brand to follow, to be proud of. And that was kind of just my mantra. Whether or not everybody kind of followed into that, I think definitely some teams have. I'm looking at Potatoes right there, and you guys love that little nutsack with the helmet on.
We certainly are. We certainly live up to the Potato name. So.
And no, but that was the idea, and I just wanted to make sure it was as tight and competitive as possible. And then I think unfortunately with a league like this, like the rules tend to get, oh, that needs to be a rule, that needs to be a rule, that needs to be a rule, and it snowballs, and then people look at the rules and they're like, what? Like, why are there 1,500 rules for this? And I'm like, because we have to address it before it happens, right? So that's definitely something that I didn't kind of expect that has happened, but I think it's working. But I'm always kind of reminding some of the team captains. I was like, by the way, FYI, this has to happen in order for you to win or do this. I kind of feel like I'm just rehashing the rules a little bit, but I don't know. For the most part, I think it's working really well. It's definitely, like I said, got speed bumps, and I think there's things we can improve on. But...
So follow up on your question about frustrations. What would you say is the one thing that is your biggest pain in the ass? I don't think a lot of people know how much, and I think for the three of us being moderators, we see into the kind of through the Cavalier lens a little bit more this season than last season, that's for sure. But what's kind of like the biggest, like, really, guys? Really? What's kind of been that one thing that would surprise the rest of the community?
I think that would be. It might be a little obvious, but when ignorance takes over someone's mantra, I guess that's what you put it. I don't know how to put it. Like, an example, like, I didn't know that was the rule, and I'm like, it's been in the rules since season 1. Like, why can't? What do you mean? Oh, this sucks. I'm not. But I don't want to play in the league. I'm just like, you fuck. What are you doing to me, man? So.
So true. God damn it! It's killing me. I'm sorry.
It's stuff like that. It's shit that like I have to baby people through, and don't get me wrong. And I'm not advocating like, oh man, I shouldn't go talk to Cap. No, absolutely, 100%. I want to hear your frustration, but like, do me a favor, run it through at least one sieve of betting before you get to the second stage, right? Like, that's definitely the most frustrating. It's kind of the piddly shit.
It's like when you cheat, but you don't cheat that much, right?
I know.
Just say it.
It just doesn't seem fair that this cheating wasn't allowed.
Yes, we only cheat a little.
You know, it's people have different ideas, or you know, when you agree to allow the judgment of the community to judge a ruling on you, and then you all of a sudden smoke bomb the fuck out as soon as it doesn't go your way.
We call that taking the ball and going home, is what we call it.
Yeah.
I'm going home.
Yeah.
Smoke ball the fuck out.
Yeah, paid leagues too, right? Anyways.
Yeah,
sorry, go on.
Anybody specific?
Yeah, why would you get... No, we're not calling anyone out. That'd be a horrible thing to do. Yeah. Pure.
It's like, imagine you had a teal cowboy.
Oh man, that's too good. I can't even. Gillimed. Yeah, you go, man.
Archetype that I'm gonna throw up.
Sort of as a counterpoint to the last question, do you have like a favorite or most memorable moment out of like season 1 and the off season?
I mean, obviously my team didn't win. So in terms of like, oh, the victory, like, no, I think concluding season 1 was a big thing, because at the end of it I was just kind of like, okay, like, we did it, like, we made it home from Mars, like, okay. In that regard, that was really cool, and you know, seeing so many people that were like, what's next, rather than being like, all right, well, cool, I'm going away now, bye. Like, it was a lot more like, I have buddies who want to come in, and we want to expand this, and I'm just like, okay, cool. So, you know, and I remember I was talking with, like, I think it was Nerd, and we were talking about season 2, and I'm just like, dude, I just mentally need a fucking break for like 2 weeks before like I can start grinding my ass off. And like, sure enough, like 5 days later, I was back at it, like making logos, building teams, and like, you know, working with. But yeah, like, you know, and also, you know, it's really cool when you see the people step up and actually, you know, take the bull by the horns. And if I can look at a team and say, like, you know, hey, I don't need to worry about that team. Like, no big deal. Because up until the start of season 2, I mean, there were 3 teams. Like, one just see you later, And then 2 other teams, like their captains, were basically, "Yeah, I'll do it," and then we're like, "Yeah, I got better things to do. Hope your dreams are cheap. Bye." Like, you know, people that were like, I had another one of the captains. I had to basically hold his hand through all of the recruiting, and I'm like, "Hey man, make a post on Reddit. Like, you can find people. Go to these forums. Blah blah blah." Like, basically, like, I hate to use the analogy of like a teacher in high school, but like spoon feeding your student, and like, I'm like, "Here you go. Here's your homework. I'm gonna check up in 3 days." And I'm like, "How'd you do?" And he goes, "Oh, bro, I haven't done anything." What did you make any posts on Reddit? I don't even have a Reddit account. I'm like, it's a free thing, man. So when that kind of stuff happens, it's very frustrating, and it's happened both seasons where it's been kind of the last minute. I would be nowhere if it wasn't for the people that jump in the last second, like the Kingdom, and folks like that, because it's crazy, is what it is. And also, like, White Knight also was a big proponent to stepping up there.
Yes,
sure.
yes.
Who else have I been missing here? I'll find it. But it's gonna bother me. I'm sorry if I don't deal. Yeah.
I just had one of those moments where I realized that I had something in my teeth this whole podcast. That's really awkward. Anyways, moving on. So, Cav, kind of one wrap-up question here while we have you here. Obviously, everybody's, we're here. We're only a quarter of the way through the season. That doesn't even include the playoffs, the All-Star game, anything like that. Tell us what your future is looking like. What are you thinking? Season 3, season 30? What are we talking about?
I think we definitely need to take it one season at a time. I'm not going to start planning season 30 and the Omni Bowl or whatever you want to but a bunch of the folks have started kind of chatting around and talking about what maybe season 3 might look like. And when we were starting to take suggestions for season 2, we were talking about maybe we should have split tiers. Maybe we should do a high tier and a low tier. And my original thought to that was, you guys are going to drive me fucking insane, because I'm going to have to organize 2 leagues now, and that's going to be a huge problem, and I don't have the time for it, to be quite honest. So I was like, no, we're gonna do 1 league, but we're gonna increase basically the range to 3 tiers, which, to be fair, I feel is too big a gap. I think what's good about it is that you do give the gold players a chance to play with some high-level team comps, basically, rely on those diamonds and those platinum players to help you out. But I think next season, and nothing is written in stone, the best way to expand the community and to kind of, move forward might be to do 2 tiers. Now, that could look like, a gold plat tier and a diamond master tier, or something like that. But nothing's decided, and it's all up for debate, and we'll see where we're at. But I think that's kind of where we're going to go. I don't, again, not for, but, I think that will allow, the concerns that I've gotten from some people, generally, and unfortunately in this situation here, was that we don't have the capacity like Blizzard has. We can't police people. We don't play at Lantern. We're basically, it's the honor system. Yeah, and if you're not playing on the honor system, you're a douchebag, and fuck you, right? Yep. And that's kind of what happened with the teal that will not be named. But that's what I'm getting at. Like, if the whole point is to play fair, get better, and work together, and I think that might be a good avenue to go down. It would also expand the community and give us more to talk about and more to work with.
Absolutely, and I think I speak for all of us when we're excited with what the community's grown to this season. It's getting bigger and bigger. Obviously, this podcast has kind of exploded, and not to mention just the atmosphere in the community is competitive yet friendly. It's been really cool. It's a really neat environment, and we're all kind of diving into it head first, and it's been a lot of fun for all of us. So, go on.
Obviously, I think I should say it because it does mean a lot to me, and especially the work that you guys put in for this, and helping me moderate and doing a lot of the legwork. It really shows, and it's taken a lot off my shoulders, and I appreciate it. And thank you very much.
Oh man, warm fuzzies for all, everyone.
I think from my end,
I'll send you some tasteful nudes later.
Tasteful. Thank you.
No, give me the nasty ones. From when you put out there looking for moderators, it was something for me that was like, okay, I want to help make this community bigger. I want to help make this community stronger and live on. And if any way we can help with that by just sharing some of the load and helping out with some of the bullshit stuff that maybe you don't have the time to do everything, but you can do one and you can do one and you can do one, or hey, please deal with this bullshit issue. I don't feel like dealing with it. I'm stressed out because of work. And
yeah, I mean, that's part of it, but a lot of it is like I do A, B, C, D, and then it's like, well, let's do E, F, G, and then it's just like, well, okay, I can try and do that, but I'm going to do it half-assed because I don't have the capacity for it. But then you guys walk in and you're like, no, we can do E, F, G, and then I'm like, okay, that's your baby, like, and I got my baby, and like we can work together on anything else that pops up. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, and that helps a ton. So the further we go, I mean, like Zuby with the casting has done far exceeded my expectations. Because NA Productions, you don't set that bar very high. No. But
there's a lot of communities out there that do casting, and I think truly, not just no bias here when I say this, I do truly believe that we have one of the best productions of these kind of C-level communities that are out there. Right. So, that's. It's been awesome. It's been really cool to watch, and this community is growing every day, and it's really cool. So, on that note, I do want to keep this thing moving along here. Thank you to you, Cav. Big claps in the chat for Cav for everything he's doing for the community. It's been awesome for all of us. I think we're all in agreement on that. But let's get into some fun stuff. We're going to open up, actually, with a... I want to go ahead and just... Let's get it out there. Let's get the big announcement out there, Cav. This is something we've been building for 2 weeks. Tell the people what they want to hear.
Okay, so over the past month or so, I've been kind of trying to go, wholeheartedly, but basically like a bullet at a freight train, at some of these companies, trying to get them to donate anything, really.
Give us your things.
Begging, give me free stuff. Get out of here. Like, how many people follow you? I'm like, I don't know, 500. Like, you're an idiot. So I'm thinking to myself, you know what? Like, I want to do something for the community. I want to give something. And the best solution that I could come up with was, and what this raffle is, I work for a company in Canada, here in Canada, which is one of the biggest sign companies in Canada. So like we do a lot of commercial work, stuff that you guys probably see on a daily basis. You're like, I could be like, Cat. So what I want to do is create something for the community. So for every, it's going to be a $10 raffle ticket, and for every $250 earned or put up, here we go, nice little info. For every $250, I'm going to make a custom sign. Now that custom sign could be anything community based. So like, let's say you want to have, the Sugar Rush logo. You want to do whatever, Reaper's emoticon there. Stuff like that. anything that you want, I will build that sign to 2 feet by 2 feet. It'll be a custom sign with LEDs. I'll ship it to you. And if we don't hit that $250 marker, every $50 I'm going to do a decal that we'll give away. And maybe some other stuff I have to wait and see. But like a decal like that's behind me on the wall here. For, again, whatever you want. Yeah, so that's basically what we're doing. I do have some mock-ups to just kind of show you exactly what I mean, because it's a you know.
Mm-hmm. Here
Okay,
it's coming.
what? A little murky, like, what are you doing? So Yeti decides to change this.
It's coming. Relax.
Work on it! So basically, yeah, this is a mock-up of just like a sign for obviously the Fighting Potatoes. So that would be an acrylic face on a can, and then it would have trim, and then it would seal to become one whole sign. So it's actually only going to be 3 inches deep. And yeah, that's it. It lights up. It's all industry standard equipment. Like it'll be dope AF.
Dude, it's fucking hype.
that on
Dude,
your wall.
it's super fucking
It looks
hype.
sick.
I would get a Fighting
It's-
Potatoes one any day of the week.
Everybody should.
Yeah.
This is awesome. This
That's
is really
kind of
cool.
the idea, and it's something like I'm like I have the power to do this, but if I were to just do it myself, I'd be like I'd go bankrupt. I think $10 per ticket is reasonable, and yeah, that's kind of the plan. So for every $250, I'm going to do one sign, and if we, like I said, if we have a staggered interval, then we'll figure out what we're going to do. I just hope somebody was telling me that Astros lives in Russia, and I was just like, he's like, oh, you better hope Astros doesn't win, and I'm just like, what? Like, lives in Russia? I was like, why?
Honestly, it looks sick. And again, the key thing I want to impress upon everybody here is it's unlimited entries. If you really want to push for that sign, you can drop $50, you can drop $100 on it. And again, this isn't a for-profit venture from Cav.
This is probably a lose money
Right,
venture for
He's probably gonna pay it up the ass for shipping. So like,
Lucky.
this is not.
No, trust me. You're not gonna see me with like I'm like Gucci son, like I'm gonna yell like glasses, like I'm gonna be like no, I freaking sell a kidney to get shipping.
Black eye because your wife will beat you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
honestly, that it's sick. It's such a cool thing. So thank you for me. I know I'll be burning some money up for that. And again, to impress upon everybody, you don't have to get a league logo. You can get the Red Gear logo if you're Red
Yeah.
Gear, for instance.
You can do whatever you want. Like it's simply as I have to keep it somewhat PG-13. I can't. I want 2 giant titties in my face above the right? Like,
Oh God.
it's like I want a giant tea bag just on my most hated team. Or like, no, don't do
Where would we sign up for this raffle?
So what you do is you just on that.
I'll put it back up again.
We're gonna make an announcement in the Discord, but
Okay.
you basically just send me $10 through PayPal, and in the notes or whatever, or send me a message after you send it saying, I sent you through this $10, and I'll put you into a spreadsheet, and then on March 2nd we'll pull up that spreadsheet, and we'll do a random number generator, and we'll figure out who won.
Perfect.
It's gonna be hype as fuck.
I'm
So-
excited. Super excited, dude.
I can't wait. I'm already looking forward to it. I'm burning the money now, so can't wait.
Do you know what was also entertaining was asking your boss, and he's like, "What do you want?" I'm like, "Oh, I just want a few signs for a raffle." He's like, "What's it for?" I was like, "Well, I kind of play video games." He's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm kind of a big deal on the internet."
Oh my god, I love it. All right. Hype as hell, guys. I'm excited. Y'all should be too.
I'm very hyped.
We're gonna get into some of our usually scheduled stuff right now. First and foremost, I apologize to everybody. The Widow 1v1 had to be rescheduled due to a time issue for me, and I apologize for that. We're gonna be rescheduling that to Tuesday, February 19th. That's gonna be at 8:15 Eastern start time. The 16 people who were in the bracket will receive priority over any other sign up. However, if you cannot make it, let me know. I apologize again for the reschedule. Tuesday, February 19th, 8:15 Eastern start time. The signups will be going up later this evening, so look forward to that, please. Next, I want to talk about the map reveal for week 5. It's already been up in the Discord, but I'm going to put it up anyways. Control map is Busan, everybody's new favorite control map. We have hybrid map is Blizzard World, again, one of everybody's favorites. Our payload map is going to be Rialto, which is actually my favorite map in the game. Deal with it. Get over it, Thug. And then assault map is Hanamura, 2CP LUL. And finally is Nepal for the tiebreaker control map, which we're sure Omnic Turtles will be seeing this week.
Fingers crossed they don't.
Yeah, I know. Come on, Turtles.
Turtles might be the new potatoes. I'm just saying.
I know. It's kind of becoming a meme at this point. Not for
the
failure,
Omnic
but like
potatoes.
it's just the Omnic Potato is the future merge team. But anyways, I digress. Let's talk a little bit more about the top 5 plays. And to mix it up, and it worked so well last time, I'm going to do it again. Once the highlight reel plays, I'll ask for the chat to weigh in on who they feel like had the top 5 play, who are the top play of the week. And we got 5. I didn't get a whole lot of plays this week, guys. Send me your plays. Do you want us to talk about your team or you in general? Send me your goddamn plays. For the love of Christ. I had 6 to work with this week.
Guys, look what you did. Now you made Yeti angry.
You don't want a Yeti angry.
The skiers are so screwed.
Exactly. They're all dead. Top 5 plays of the week. We're starting with the Red Gear. Fear the Gear, I say. Coming in on Horizon Lunar Colony with a massive 5K up against Wrecking Crew. Again, Wrecking Crew did take this map, but Red Gear popped off on quite a few occasions. This was a sick 5K. Really well played by Red Gear. Looking at next play is from Gecko from the Meta Rejects. Came in at number 5 in the power rankings. Gecko's a big reason as to why. And he may have died in this clip, but look at that 4K. Really nicely done. Good team coordination by Meta Rejects to pull that off.
But not the grocery.
We have Gab, not Gabe, from the Omnic Turtles. Honestly, and the big thing with this one, too, that I loved is obviously that triple kill with the bomb was huge, but he followed it up with some really nice play on this Reinhardt. He did a great job, and honestly, he saved the map for them. Looking at that VOD, he saved the map. That was huge. Yojak from Otaku, we talked a ton about Yojak, and this is just him popping off on main tank again. We talked about his monkey. His Reinhardt is extremely strong too, and he just had a great play there. Great shatter, completely neutralized the enemy team, and to lock up that map. Really well played by Yojak. And finally, your boy Ski Free Yeti coming at you from the feature match. Everybody's favorite, really the only play that's worth consideration. We come up with that triple boop on Eichenwald. We may have lost the point after this, but you know what? It was so good. Let's look at it again in slow motion. As you can see, he gets this expert level mercy kill, follows that up, and you can see the Ana gets knocked off the map at that time. Really, honestly, there is no better play that has occurred in your lifetime.
Basically a hate crime against women.
Yes.
I mean, really. 2019, guys. Come on.
Don't worry about it. So, chat, tell me who you think is the top play of the week. And while we're doing that, Thug, why don't you go ahead and start?
Gab, not Gabe.
Gab, not Gabe?
Gab, not Gabe. And it's more the follow-up afterwards. He just didn't press Q to win. And he didn't toot his own freaking horn as much as you did, Yeti. No, the follow-up play in the Reinhardt afterwards was great. He saved that point, and it was perfect. Yeah, that's it. Gab, not Gabe.
Gillimed, sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to have to, as much as I love Red Gear and his spectacular Death Blossoms, I'm going to have to go with the Gab play. It was just like, there's like the big flashy ultimate, and then there's like the flashy ultimate that's also got some really smart play afterwards, and that checks both those boxes, so that's my pick.
Cav?
Oh yeah, Gab not Gabe.
Go ahead, Kev.
Yeah, Gab not Gabe. For all the reasons that were basically stated before. I like the dropping off the groceries, but I think it was more of a one man event, and showcase of skill, rather than even though your boop was nice and it was against us and you hate women.
You hate women.
I hate women.
But that for that reason, you know, if Regular maybe like, you know, would have like thrown his gun at somebody to kill him, not shoot him, but just dirty. But, no, obviously you got 5 people. It's pretty impressive. But...
I'm afraid the podcast is canceled moving forward, everyone. No, honestly, I agree. Gab, not Gabe. Just a great place to save the map. He's popping off every week, guys. Gab is one of the top DPS in this community, bar none, and I give it to Gab. I see a lot of support from me in the chat, and I appreciate that, guys. I do, but at the same time...
They're afraid to get banned, bro.
No, I know. Being realistic here, Gab, again, just so versatile. We saw Hanzo before. We've seen his McCree. We now see his Tracer. Like, he's just doing good things. So, Gab, congratulations. This is your second play of the week win. So, congratulations to Gab on that. You'll be receiving your 2 loot boxes, Horace/Peters. I still owe you 2, so we'll make sure to get in touch before the end of this event so you get yours. That's the top 5 plays of the week, guys, and we're going to end it here with our prediction segment. Let's haul through these really quick, guys. We've been going on too long. Cav is good to talk to. We all know that, but we want to blitz through these. We're going to start with Omnic Turtles versus Renegades. I think Omnic Turtles isn't going to 3-2 this one.
They're not going to see the last map. Hooray!
Congratulations, Omnic Turtles.
Yay.
4-0. They will no longer be 1 win. They will be 2. So congratulations on the Turtles. It's really 4-0 coming after a couple 2-3 losses. Impressive.
Good.
Otaku and aimbots. I'm going to start this off. I'm going to go Otaku because I do not believe that any team in the community can stand up to them besides Havoc right now. Cav, go.
Well, as you know, White Knight is a dear friend of mine, and he had the week off. So... to see where they're at coming back, Otaku, off of a brawl this past week, they might be weak. I'm going to go for the underdog and say aimbots, even though I think Otaku is the stronger team, but I think aimbots are going to pull some wool over the eye.
All right. Got an Otaku and an aimbots vote. Gillimed, what do you think?
I'm going to have to go with aimbots here. Because I think, while Otaku is an incredibly solid team, I think they're not quite as the second coming of Season 1 Havoc as everyone seems to predict. And I don't know much about this aimbots roster, but I think they can probably do it. 3-2, though.
For sure. Thug, what you got?
Otaku. 4-0.
Whoa.
No slight towards aimbots, but Otaku's so confident right now, and that's scary, dude. Super scary. So I go Otaku.
So blue and animated.
It's true. Anyways, Solo
Flaring on my bronchitis, motherfuckers. Quit making it.
Solo Cup and Meteors. Big comeback for Solo Cup this week, and Meteors as well. Both teams looking to bounce back from tough losses. Thug, what do you think?
I'm going to go Solo Cup this week. I know they're kind of dealing with some internal stuff. This is no slight towards Meteors again. Actually, no. This is a direct attack on Gillum. You're trash! Sorry! Get him! No, I'm gonna go aimbots in this one.
Aimbots?
Yeah. Aimbots.
Wait. God, I'm like you know, Yeti. Son of a bitch. Solo Cup. Leave me alone.
Gillimed, I'm not going to get a prediction. How are you guys feeling coming back? Bounce back after a tough week.
I think we're pretty confident. Solo Cup's definitely a really solid team, but I think we can do it.
All right, Cav, what are you thinking?
I think this one's going to be all about momentum. So whoever comes out the gate and shows up first is going to take it. Now, who is that going to be? I don't know. I think it could go either way.
Be bold.
Be bold.
I'm going to lean on the side of Meteors. I think if their guys show up, I think it's over. I was watching their stream this past week, and the first map they just rolled. They were doing really well. I think they bounce back. I think they take.
I have Meteors in a 4-0 this week. It's not a slight on Solo Cup. I think Meteors is probably not thrilled, and I look to see Fossil and Red Gear bounce back in a way that we have not seen from them all season.
The toxic duo.
The toxicity of their city is going to be insane, and I think they are pissed, and I think they are going to take it out on Solo Cup. It's not a slight on Solo Cup. It's just a fact. I think Red Gear and I think Fossil are going to light people up this week. I think it's going to be a 4-0 Meteors. I really do. So we're going to go ahead to the next match here. Wrecking Crew and Liquid Nova. Wrecking Crew came out big this past week, and Liquid Nova got their first win too. And I am actually going to go again with Liquid Nova. I think they're continuing to get better and better. I think Wrecking Crew is going to be caught a little off guard with what Liquid Nova is now bringing to the table, and I like what Liquid Nova is doing. I think Liquid Nova takes this match against Wrecking Crew. It's going to be close. It's going to be a 3-2 Liquid Nova, but I'm definitely thinking that they're going to pull off what I think a lot of people would perceive as a bit of an upset. Kev.
I'm going to go against you. I'm going to say Wrecking Crew on this one. Based on what I saw, and if Teddy is playing in that match, then I think they're going to have a lot to deal with from the Liquid Nova side. And yeah, I haven't actually watched one of Liquid Nova's VODs recently, so they could have turned a corner, but I think it's going to be like a 3-1 Wrecking Crew on this.
Gillimet.
I'm going to go with Liquid Nova. I think a lot of people are sleeping on them because of the 0-3 start, but I think they have real potential, and I think like they've got a lot of players who can really step up, and I think Wrecking Crew, we seem to have lost one.
Rip Thuggington, everyone. F's in the chat for Thug. Not sure what happened. I think he's dead.
Monka S.
This is whiskey juice.
I have no idea where he is. Oh, he's coming back. He's coming back. He's coming back.
Hold on. What just happened?
I don't know. No one knows. We thought you died.
Hey, I'm back, guys.
Well, your camera's currently, but
There
we are.
hey, everybody, he's back. Oh man, get the angel thumbs out in chat. Anyways, Thug, what do you think?
What were we talking about again?
I forgot. You scared me. I feared for your life for a moment, man. Can't you give me
Liquid Nova versus Wrecking Crew.
Pettiness is going to just absolutely uncork a whole world of hurt on him.
Wrecking Crew you got?
Yep.
All right.
Ooh,
All right. Oops, sorry, go on.
Nothing. It was quick.
Okay. Alt F4. Sorry, I keep talking over you. Alt F4 and Harmony and Chaos. A big match. Alt F4 coming off a tough loss, and Harmony and Chaos coming off a 4-0. So both ends of an 0-4 coming in. Thug, how's your team feeling coming in?
We're angry. In a good way. So after the little ass clapping we got from Old Kingdom and Meta Rejects, we're a little feisty right now. We kind of learned a little bit about ourselves and a little bit about what we want to do. So the team's hungry.
Hungry.
And when we hungry, we gonna eat.
Gillimed, what are you thinking? We only got 2 predictions here, so what are you thinking?
I'm thinking Alt F4 for this one. I think the hunger for a win after the game against Meta Rejects is just gonna overpower the 4-0.
He's so banned.
What do you know?
What do you think? I mean, Cav, you guys got to be feeling pretty confident coming off a 4-0 of the glorious.
Listen, Thug, you can drink your self-reflective hater, and you can hate on us all you want this week. We're coming for you, baby.
Woo! Let's go. Ron Kyners or nothing. I'm in.
This is going to be a fun match. I'm excited. Bunch of characters on both teams. For me, I'm going Harmony and Chaos. And it's not just me.
Every fucking time.
I know I've picked against your team, but for the record, when I have picked against your team, I've been right.
That's true. Good job. Thank you so much.
So prove me wrong, thug. Anyways, that's a direct shot at all of Alt F4, by the way. Take that, Mighty Bear. Anyways, so for me, I look at Harmony and Chaos as a team that is greatly on the rise. I think Shadow and Garbaggio are stepping up as massive threats, and I think Handifap is a very, very underrated tank. And I can say underrated because he wasn't ranked in the top 10 tanks in the league, so you can all get off my fucking back, K. Yes, I think definitely Harmony and Chaos.
I want to interject. This is going to be a battle of the supports.
Mm-hmm.
This is all it's going to be, support v support. We are going to 1v1 in middles.
Instead of a tiebreak at the end, it's going to be Thug versus Cav on a Zenyatta battle at the end.
It's only.
Yeah. You were saying, Cav, you sounded like you wanted to talk more trash.
Oh no, I was just gonna say. Well, I mean, Handifap probably didn't get raided because he's named after a hand job.
Excuse me? I believe I requested the hand job.
Yeah, I'm not.
Oh, he knows it. We all know.
I'm not saying no. But anyways, Illusion coming off a tough loss against Liquid Nova against Havoc, the 4-0 team. Honestly, I look at Havoc and I see 4-0, and I'm sorry to Illusion. Havoc they look almost unbeatable right now, and until someone can truly expose their weakness, I don't know how people can beat them. So I'm going Havoc on a 4-0. Cav, what are you thinking?
Illusion, do you have Havoc's address? If yes, do you have Anthrax? Yes. Send Anthrax to Havoc's address. No, I think it's gonna be a bloodbath. It's not gonna be pretty. Unfortunately, love you guys, but I don't think it's gonna be your week.
And, you know, they could have the Anthrax. Gillimed, what do you think?
You played the Anthrax card.
I'm going to go against the grain here and say Havoc 3-1.
Oh, okay.
I think, based on what I saw in Season 1, and I don't know how well it holds in Season 2, I think Havoc sometimes struggles teams that are in the lower brackets, either because they have less exposure or because they don't really play a specific style. And I think Havoc excels against people who play really well and coordinated. So I think it's not going to be as much of a stomp as everyone's expecting, but I think Havoc still definitely takes.
Thug, what are you thinking?
God, that was really fucking smart, dude. What he said.
3-1 Havoc.
Yeah, I think it's a really good point, and I say this like you play any higher level strategy game or playing poker or anything like that, or blackjack. When somebody doesn't fully embrace the meta or does it at a really, 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 really high level, it throws your game off. And that's a really good point, Gilman. I like that a lot, dude.
Yeah. That's why we have.
God, we're all like assholes and memeing, and he's over like, well, this is actually really insightful. This is my thoughts.
Yeah. So
way smarter than us.
I don't have a 5-head filter, unfortunately.
Gravity and the team that everybody's chasing right now, the Fighting Potatoes. Thug, go ahead and lay it on thick, please.
Okay. It's Gravity, dude.
Oh yeah.
It's Gravity, and again, I love the Potatoes. The Potatoes are my favorite people, but yeah, Orsted Velzen at the same time. You have to usually pay extra for that kind of stuff, and I'll say 3-1. You'll take a map. Minimum 3-1.
Gillimed.
You're so mad right now. Yeah,
I'm not mad.
Yeah, I think it's going to be 3-1. I'm sorry, Eddie.
Don't need to apologize. Cav, what are you thinking? Go gentle.
They're like, but if you got some Orsted and if you got the inner and outer core, which would be Orsted and Velzen playing any significant time, I think it's not going to go well for you. So I'm gonna go 4-0, unfortunately.
That's fine. For what it's worth, we've only taken one legit map off of a team this season so far. And that's been a shame for us. We've had a tougher schedule, but at the same time, this is a team that we should, that we're expected to be competing with in this league. We need to at least show some life. I'm confident that our team can show life. Do I think we're gonna? Am I confident enough to say we're gonna go out and crush Gravity? No, and I don't think any of us on our team are talented enough to beat Velzen or Orsted on a 1v1 basis. There's no way. No one can. But I'm hopeful that our team can rally around each other, and I think it's just take one map at a time. It's a clear favorite in Gravity, and that's okay. I respect is earned, not given, and that's something that we need to do as a team. Will it happen? I don't know. I hope so, but at the same time, realistic. Gravity's a hell of a team. It's going to be a tough match for us, but I'm looking forward to playing them. These are the teams we have to learn to beat in order to be competitive in the league.
Right, need to eat, Ching, adapt, throw them off their game.
Potatoes are the most versatile of fruits, so.
Some of this face one.
All right, feature match of the week, guys. Last match is going to be Meta Rejects and Sugar Rush. They are going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday, February 17th. Be sure to tune in, guys. Zuby's going to put on a hell of a production, I am sure, and that's going to be a fantastic match between two top 5 teams in this community. Sugar Rush, Meta Rejects, looking to show off what they got. Before we go into the predictions, though, I want to actually talk a little bit about that Sugar Rush team. There was recently a charity tournament that several of their members took a part in, and I want to give a shout out to those guys for doing it. They represented the community as a whole well, and I'm actually forgetting the name of the tournament here, and I apologize if anybody from that team is in chat and want to type it in. That would be really appreciated. But they came up huge. It was Sidereal, Noisy Caribou, or Kara in the Discord. Lieutenant Terry Bad / Riley Bad, and Cognitive Pit. They played in a 4v4 deathmatch double elimination tournament. They came out. They didn't lose a match. They swept it. It was congratulations to those guys representing the community and Sugar Rush really well. The Brain and Behavior Research Foundation Overwatch Community Charity Tournament. They brought it. 4v4 deathmatch. Way to go, guys. It was. I enjoyed watching it. It was a lot of fun, and you guys really kicked ass. Congratulations. Really dominant performance. So, which brings me to this match. To me, this match is a battle of two specific people, and it's not who you think. I think everybody's going to be looking at Peter, and everybody's going to be looking at Cognitive Pit. I don't think that's where the battle is going to be won. I think it is going to be a battle of Sidereal versus Kingdom. Kingdom is one of the best tanks in the community, there is not a doubt. Sidereal is one of the more overlooked players in the community because he is surrounded by all that DPS talent. I think Sidereal and Kingdom, those are going to be the two to decide this match. I think right now, if I have to look at a team who is on a more positive momentum and really just knocking the people out right now and just has all the momentum going in their favor, I'm going Meta Rejects. It's going to be a hell of a match. I think it's going to be a 3-2 victory for Meta Rejects. I think they're going to take both of the assault maps off of them. I think they're going to win it on Nepal, and I think it's going to be Meta Rejects with a 3-2 victory in a great match. Cav, what do you think?
I'm going to go the other way, actually. I think it's going to be a 3-2 Sugar Rush. I think you're right. I think Meta Rejects does have that momentum going for them right now. I don't know. It's gut feeling. I just think I think Sugar Rush is going to pull it out in the long haul.
Gillimed, what you think?
I think, yeah, it's definitely going to be incredibly close. Both teams are super, super talented. I think in the end, Meta Rejects is going to win out, but just barely. I think it's going to be really close, and it's going to be a great game to watch.
Absolutely. Thug, deciding vote. Everybody's waiting for you.
Sugar Rush. And I'm going to lean on their flexibility and the depth that they have at that lineup. They are listed in our spreadsheet as specific roles, but like hell if you'll see them stick at that. That flexibility and the depth on that team is really going to show up as soon as you think you got somebody pegged, like, okay, that's this person, they're going to do this. They play Zenyatta, so we can do... Then they jump out on Tracer. It's like, what the fuck? What just... Yeah, that's that. Playing against them twice. Suddenly, you're not that. You're Zenyatta.
Suddenly 4 DPS.
Yes, suddenly 4 DPS. And it's. I think they do some really interesting things. So I'm going to say 3-1 Sugar Rush.
Interesting.
that's the Iris's predictions, guys. Whether or not we're right, I'm sure the results will be held over our heads like always. I look forward to the banter, and I look forward to the coming week. It's going to be a lot of fun. Reminders, everyone, please get your votes, or please get your raffle tickets to Cav. You got a few weeks to do that. It's going to be awesome. I want to see lots of cool signs coming out and some decals to boot. Let's make it happen, guys. It's going to be lit. Next Sunday, Sugar Rush, Meta Rejects. Podcast, time to be determined, will be next weekend as well, either Sunday or Monday. We'll see. Wait for that, guys. But again, thank you all for watching this extended podcast. And again, thank you very much to Cavalier, our glorious commissioner, for this extended expose into the minds of our wonderful commissioner. And thank you all of you for watching. We appreciate it. And from all of us in the Tranquility community, we'll see you later. Click the button, Kevin.
Experience tranquility.